Millions of people around the world have heard the name Khalil Harris, and they've developed their own ideas of who he was. How about you? Who was he to you, Star?
More than he may have realized. One of my best friends. We have known each other for a long time. If he were here, he'd point out that he was 5 months, 2 weeks, 3 days older than me. That's who Khalil was to me. He was a jokester. Even when things were hard at times, he'd somehow always find the light in it. I know it's corny, but I think he's here. His nosy ass would show up to make sure I say the right things. Probably calling me his number one fan or some annoying title that only Khalil can think of. He had a big heart. I think many people will call him a thug, but if you really knew him, you'd know that he wasn't the case at all. I'm not saying he was an angel or anything, but he wasn't a bad person. He was just a kid. Just a kid. Khalil knew that he hated drugs. He only sold them to help her mother out of a situation with the biggest. Khalil's mom is a drug addict, but anyone who knew Khalil knew that he hated drugs. He only sold them to help her mother out of a situation with the biggest drug dealer and gang leader in the neighborhood. That was the only reason he sold drugs, to help his mother out.
So he wasn't a gang member?
No, he wasn't. He never wanted to fall into that type of life, but I guess I don't understand how everyone can make it seem like it's okay he got killed. He was a drug dealer and a gang banger.
What about the media?
Yes, ma'am. It seems like they always talk about what he may have said, what he may have done, what he may not have done. I didn't know a dead person could be charged in his own murder, you know?
So he didn't make a threat on Officer Cruz's life?
No, ma'am. His exact and last words were, "Star, are you okay?" The shots rang out and Khalil looked at me for the last time. How I held him in the streets and saw his eyes gloss over. A teller over 115 pointed his gun at me.
He pointed his gun at you?
Yes, ma'am. And he kept it until the other cops arrived.
Has this made you scared of cops?
I don't know. My uncle's a cop. I know that not all cops are bad and they risk their lives, you know? I'm always scared for my uncle, but I'm tired of them assuming, especially when it comes to black people.
Do you wish that more cops wouldn't make assumptions about black people?
Right. This all happened because he was assumed that we were up to no good, because we're black, because of where we live. We're just two kids minding our own business. You know, his assumptions killed Khalil, and it could have killed me.
If Officer Cruz was right here, what would you ask him?
I'd ask him if he wanted to shoot me too.